Morning guys, it's Thursday today and we got up early to go for a walk. You may not know, I've now got access to work from home, so I've got access to all of the patient records and everything from a laptop that I have at home that is secure, so I don't have to travel into work in the mornings anymore unless I've got anything like a meeting. So the mornings that are usually taken up by like traveling to work, I'm now utilizing by taking a walk, and so is Sadal before he starts his shift. So start my shift at 8:30, so we usually try to come out for a walk around 7:30, and it's much more like quieter and cooler as well. So yeah, and then we head back, have breakfast, and then start the day, which I'll show you. So this one is due a haircut again, apparently. He's asking me to cut his hair, but I said no because I can't deal with his moaning for an hour and a half. You may have seen the previous video of where I put up a video of when I was cutting his hair, and this one moaned for about an hour and a half straight, and I don't think I can hack that anymore now that I'm like over 8 months pregnant.
Yeah, I suggested to take my mouth.
So you agree that you actually moaned?
Yeah, no, I
ridiculously.
Did. Yeah, I did actually.
And can I keep that tape on longer than an hour and a half? Anyways.
Come on, walk up the stairs now, stop being lazy. The longer you take, the harder it gets.
Cutting that bit out.
Yeah.
Cutting that bit out. So we've just come home, it's 8:30 now, and I am in the spare bedroom, which basically looks like a tip at the moment because it's got all the baby stuff in that we haven't yet like properly unpacked and put in the nursery. So just an update on the nursery, it's about, I'd say 80% complete. We've done all the paintwork, we've put the furnitures together now and it's all in the places that it needs to be. We've just got some decoration to do on one of the walls, and also just to basically like, you know, unpack everything and put everything away, and then like sort this room out. Anyways, but this room is where we have like the computers and study. So Sadal's kind of given me his workspace whilst he works downstairs. So I'll show you what my workspace looks like now. So it's all very makeshift. I've got 2 monitors, but this one doesn't seem to connect, so I'm working on one. I've got my ID card that I use to connect to the laptop that has a secure login, so I can access all the patient records. My ID card, I don't know why that's there, and I've got like the ordinary orders like delivery box and some ab workout equipment box to prop up these screens. I've got my water, I've got my headphones when I make phone calls to patients, when I'm doing their virtual clinic appointments, and just my personal laptop, because I find it easier than the keyboard to kind of do like emails and stuff from. So that's what my setup looks like at home. So essentially I'm doing the same thing as I would do if I was to go into work. Oh my god, can you see that mess? So the ward round will start at 8:30 in the morning when the doctors have finished their handover, and they'll start seeing the patients, from which point I will pick up the jobs that they've generated and help them along with their ward work. And then in the afternoon, I usually used to do audit work, which is now being completed. Well, the aspect that I was doing anyway, and I'm doing some follow-up clinics for patients who were originally admitted with the coronavirus. So that's taking up my afternoon, and that usually brings me up to about 5:30. In addition to doing things like e-learning modules and things like that. So that's basically the rough structure of my working day, and then I don't have to travel home because I'm home already, and we usually head downstairs and start preparing dinner with Sadal. So he has just started work as well now. We'll probably have breakfast when we have like a couple of minutes to prepare something in between all the jobs. working from home has had its struggles, and I'm just going to get on with my ward work, but I've got a story to tell you about how I was called multiple times on my personal mobile over the weekend. Kind of my fault, kind of inappropriate patient behaviour, so it's a mixture of things, but let me get on with the ward work. I'll tell you the story later on in the vlog. So it's the afternoon now, and I've started on my follow-up clinic for the coronavirus patients. So our hospital has created a clinic for patients who have had coronavirus and who seem to have ongoing symptoms. So things like breathlessness, or if they have had like changes on any of their imaging, which basically needs following up by the respiratory team. So we spend the afternoon calling these patients after they've had repeat bloods and x-rays and stuff, and go through a questionnaire of all their symptoms. And it's surprising how, despite some of their x-rays going back to normal, quite a few people are still breathless, and it's difficult to know how much of that is related to the actual infection that they've had, or how much of that is related to the psychological impact of having that virus and being in hospital. It's also new, and there's so little data about the long-term effects of this virus, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think I'm going to take a couple of minutes break just to get a cup of coffee and have something to eat, and then get back onto calling the patients for the afternoon. I've just done my coffee with my Nespresso machine, frothed my milk up as well. I think for lunch I'm not too hungry because I ended up having breakfast a little bit late, so I'll probably have like apple and banana and peanut butter or something, and then I need to take something out for dinner, which I'm not sure what to do for now. Should we make some salmon? We haven't had that for a while. I'm gonna take some salmon out to defrost in time for dinner later on, and then we can just have rice and stuff with it, I guess. I just remembered I was going to tell you about that case last week. So with the coronavirus follow-up clinic, I had to call one of the patients and was predominantly speaking to the daughter. Something happened and they needed to call me back with further information about something. So because I was working from home and I didn't have access to any work telephones, obviously, I gave them my personal mobile number to ring me back on, and then organised a few things, sorted out their issue. And this lady ended up using the fact that she had my mobile and was calling me constantly, leaving me voicemails, asking me about updates about her mum, despite me telling her that this was my personal mobile. And also, like, after the first interaction I had with them over the phone, I would not have further information about her mum and what happened to her mum and where she was basically in hospital. But despite knowing this, she was still calling me on Saturday and on Sunday. But it's all sorted now. She's stopped calling, thankfully. But it just shows that, working from home isn't always easy, and there are lots of new and different obstacles that have come about now with the coronavirus, meaning where we're doing more like remote consultations. So that was a learning curve for me. So if you're ever in a situation where a medic gives you their personal mobile number, please don't call them out of hours, on weekends, leave them voicemails. It's quite unprofessional. And also, just check with them like who is going to be following that patient up afterwards, so you can call that person, because she did have numbers and other contact details for other people who were looking after her mum. Anyways, just thought I'd share. Also, I just remembered that I'm due to go on mat leave in 2 weeks. I can't believe that it's come around so quickly, and I've not had the full maternity experience, unfortunately, but I am looking forward to some time off and just focusing on, having the baby. But yeah, so after today's vlog, maybe a couple a bit more about medicine, and then after that it's going to be about my life on maternity leave. Are there any specific things you guys would like to see? I'll be doing like routine videos and things like that, obviously, but is there any like video suggestions that you have for when I am on maternity leave? I am planning to do things like a nursery tour and all the baby bits and pieces that we've gotten, because I'm really excited to share that with you guys. But do let me know if you have any ideas of anything else you'd like me to do. So it's just gone 5:30 now, which means I've finished my shift. I've come downstairs and Sadell's done most of the prep for dinner, so we're going to cook salmon, which is in the oven now, and I've been preparing the rice. So basically I was trying to make rice with like some peas in it, so like just add a little bit of veg, but I kind of went overboard with the peas and it kind of looks like peas with rice rather than the other way around. But anyways, either way we're getting some vegetables in. And I think for a snack after dinner, we're gonna do nachos. So I don't know if any of you guys follow Mrs. Hinch. I used to follow her before, but I just find her content a little bit repetitive now, so I just unfollowed. But anyway, she had this really nice recipe where you get tortillas with like salsa sauce and sweet chili and peppers and red onions with like cheese on top, and she bungs that in the oven, and it's just really nice and like crispy, and yeah, it's just a nice treat. So I think we'll do that after dinner. Do you want to say hi? So we're just on the sofa watching Modern Family on Netflix. I think my meal was quite big and it's made me uncomfortable. I keep forgetting that my stomach is like being pushed up and half the size, and I keep burping and this one keeps giving me the face. Anyways, that's the end of the day from us. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. Don't forget to subscribe and also follow me on Instagram, which is the Junior Doc, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.